These Walls Could Talk. I'm Wendy on Wednesday, and yes, I am here coming to you live from Pangea on the Lower East Side. I am by myself today. Tym Moss, I guess Scotty beamed him up. He's not with us today. He will be back next week. So I am going to just tell you, I love being here in the air conditioning at Pangea. This is such a super location to be able to do this show from. And earlier this past week, we did artist interviews. Now, we love artists, right? Why do I do this show? I have people from every walk of life, but you all know we have a lot of artists on this show. And we were doing artist interviews here that was in conjunction with a gallery showing we had here. I loved interviewing all the artists because artists that paint are different than artists that are performers, right? Because artists that paint, a lot of it is really internal and it's very cerebral. And the interviews really went fantastically because we uncovered like so many things that connected them to their art, right? And at the end of the day, it is all about connection, isn't it? Now, for those of you who follow me on social media, and there's a couple of thousand of you, I think even more than that, I'm sure you saw the show that we did at Industry Bar with the Imperial Court of New York, the awesome 80s show. I had a really great time. I am no singer, unlike our guest today. So I did a lip sync to Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. Love that song. And of course, the Imperial Court of New York, we raise money for all the other LGBTQ organizations, and we have a great time at Industry Bar. So make sure you follow us coming up because we are going to be doing Christmas in July, and that's going to be at Industry Bar as well. So I have written, I'm going to share this with you. I have written an original Christmas parody. That's right. And I'm going to be singing it. Yes. So that's all I'm going to tell you about that. And oh, while I have you here, I just have to tell you, Harvey Brownstone, the judge from Canada, who is now the world-renowned talk show host, was on our show last week. And I love Harvey, and he has coffee that is connected to his name, the Talk Show Blend by Harvey Brownstone, and it's from Dominique's Coffee. The thing that was so cool about this coffee, it's a medium blend. Now, you all know I am a high octane kind of gal, but I found out that the medium blend actually really suits me, very much like Harvey. Mellow when they need to be, chutzpah when they need to have it, and if you don't watch your back, you'll have a kick. Yeah, there you go. So this is kind of funny today because, well, it's not funny. We have a heat index of 105, and now the Canadian wildfires are sending haze and smoke into, believe it or not, into New York and a ton of areas right here on the East Coast, and I'm sure even in the Midwest. So there's the Canada connection. Last week, Harvey Brownstone from Canada originally. Now I've got smoke coming into New York City from Canada. And would you believe it? Our guest today, this is such a coincidence, and I need to find out what this means. Our guest today is originally from Canada. Our guest today is a guitarist, a record producer, an entertainer, the co-producer of Real Live Music, which I can't wait to get into because I just love the concept of real live music. And really important about our guests, besides being psychic, they are 16 years clean and sober. And when I was researching them, I found this quote and I just loved it. Your greatest comeback is the one that you live. Please welcome Ray Starr.
Ooh, thank you. What an opening.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being. It's kind of funny. You know, we've got smoke coming down from Canada. The guest last week was from Canada, and you're originally from Canada.
Yeah, and you can see, like, obviously the universe wants to burn it down.
There you go. That's right, Ray. That's the message that we're all getting. But it can't burn it down yet. We love Canada, and I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to the show. I think now you're based out of LA. Am I correct?
I bounce back and forth between LA and Vancouver quite a bit.
So I've been to Vancouver, Ray.
My condolences.
I know, I love it because you know what? I was there myself. I had gotten back from Alaska and I only had a few hours and I went up to what's that mountain there? Grouse Mountain.
Yep. Beautiful.
It not only beautiful. I don't know how you feel about grizzly bears, but that's like one of my favorite animals.
They're all fine to come face to face with them. Right. It's a little nerve wracking.
It's a little nerve wracking, but the grizzlies there had been rescued and they're living out their life on Grouse Mountain. And they're very tame around people. There was no one there. I think I was there on a Monday. And the person that was in charge of them was feeding them salmon and let me come like right up really, really close. And I'm telling you, it was just, it was like a religious experience.
Ooh, very cool. Yeah.
There you go. So, my God, guitarist, record producer, entertainer, you do it all.
You have to keep the lights on these days. But ironically though, I mean, honestly, I just love being creative, and any outlet I can find to be creative is
right. So that's what's keeping your lights on. And now you're getting into a show that is backed by NBC, Real Life Music, in a time that we're living where everybody and their mother has a track. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, just to correct you a little bit, I'm not co-producer. I do I'm the production or like a promotions producer for that show. But we had 2 test airings already on NBC, and it's basically it's not a contest. It's not like American Idol or anything ridiculous like that. But what it is like we would have like a signed artist. Okay. We have a non-signed artist, bands, whatever. And the whole premise of the show is no one is allowed to use backing tracks, any tricks of the trade that unless you're in our world, a lot of people don't know about, and they don't realize when you go to watch a big show, you're actually watching a production. You're
right. No, you're totally right. They don't know that.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, if you hit wrong notes, it's going to be hurt. But that to me, I love that. That's, I know when I was young and going to concerts, I loved seeing that, that give me an experience that I can't experience on a record,
Right.
And
that's what we call an authentic experience.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's like, so you don't have like a bunch of computers up back watching backing tracks and switching within milliseconds if there's a boo-boo or something like this. Right. And when it turns out there's a huge need for that. People want to see the authenticity of that. And it's fun, so that's basically the premise of the show.
I love the premise of the show. Here in New York, I go to a lot of live music without tracks here. And it's people that have been around a very, very long time. And I bring this up because they're still making their music and they're amazing and they're on fire. And I hope on this show that you're working with, you have all ages of bands, right? Because there's people out there in their 60s and 70s. I mean, I hear them all the time. We always hear whatever happened to. God damn it, they're still out there. Why do people think you lose your ability to play guitar as the decades go by? If anything, you become more seasoned because of your experience.
And we all like seasoning, so
right. I prefer garlic on my chicken, but I don't know what I have no idea what your deal is. So,
I do eat vampires, so that really doesn't matter.
Oh, really? Medium rare, I hope.
Yeah.
So I can tell by your O's, you're from Canada originally.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about where you grew up, how you grew up, and where Ray came from.
Well, Stork made a wrong drop off. That's where it first started. It was a terrible, terrible mistake. So I grew up, I grew up relatively poor, and I grew up in a rough kind of area, suburb of Vancouver, which is kind of famous for being the ghetto, I guess, of Vancouver. And, poor kid doesn't know they're poor until you get around other kids, and then you realize, oh crap, I'm pretty poor. You know what I mean? And
they let you know it. They bully you. They let you know it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, no one in that neighborhood was a baller, but like I said, it was the ghetto, but I had less than less, so And then, I was a typical latchkey kid, because, my parents, they worked their butt off to get us out of there. And they eventually, we did eventually, but that's where I got my start,
Wow.
And I'm grateful for those experiences because it all added to what I got to see and do. And, unfortunately, I don't want to go down the dark hole here, but, some things happened in my childhood that was kind of messed up. And so it kind of led me down a kind of a dark path, and I got exposed
to a dark path. A lot of people carry, you carry that stuff with you and people don't realize it. And of course it can raise its ugly head when we are adults,
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, a bit of my backstory. I mean, oh, look at that. It's 11/11. Huh?
Right. I was waiting for you to notice that. Yes. By the way, everyone, Ray shared with me, definitely psychic, definitely intuitive. I can tell you he is. And so the 11/11 came up. You called it out. Fabulous. Okay, keep going.
Total side note there. Look at me. I'm ADD. No, just kidding. So anyway. So where was I going there? So I got exposed to, because when I spent so much time by myself as a kid, I hang around with other kids that are kind of going through similar situations, and got exposed to bad things at an early age, and I got exposed to hard drugs at a very, very young age.
How old were you when you were exposed to hard drugs?
Well, like normal kids would be smoking pot and drinking, and I went right to the hard stuff, and I was probably, I guess, 12 or 13, I guess.
Yeah, that's like, it's really, I grew up in the Bronx. There were kids that started at 11 and 12 that they never made it. I'm curious, did you have siblings that you could hang out with, or that you got along with?
No, my parents got it right the first time, but like
we have to listen for those jokes, honey, because you just zing them right in there. I don't want to miss one, right? So it was just you.
It was just me, yeah. So like I say, I got that, and it got a little out of control, obviously, and then I managed to pack it in for a little while, and then somewhat, just hanging on by the skin of my teeth. I mean, I wasn't really good. I just kind of switched gears, I just became an I did figure out I'll be an alcoholic now for a while, and so I did that for a while, and then I got into a band, and we took off pretty early age, and I kind of went to my head, and then out comes the demon again, and the
music industry completely supports it's the
100%.
environment, right? It's if you're have an addiction issue, and I will call it that because it's an issue, and when people don't understand a lot about addiction, I don't believe it's learned behavior. The people I know that are addicts, it was in them. You understand? It's like 100%. Me, after 2 drinks, I cannot stand the taste of alcohol. For someone that is an alcoholic or that gets off on drugs, they need to have more. It's just, and people have to understand that it is as chemical as it is mental.
Yeah, like someone like you, I still to this day, I look at you and go, what the hell's wrong with you?
Right. What the hell? My friends say that too. I went through the whole drug era, and I'm like, I don't even like smoking pot. I'm like, but again, it's got to do with my chemistry.
Yeah.
Your chemistry, obviously.
It's amazing that you skipped that whole thing, because I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I'll tell you that. It's
understood.
It starts off fun, but it sure don't end fun.
You started taking off, though. Your band was taking off.
The band was taken off, and I thought it was such a unique snowflower, but the reality is it's just sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and then it turned into just sex and drugs, and then it was just drugs, and in the end I was just an and there's nothing left of me, right? So it kind of, I blew that all to smithereens, and then again, got back up, got back in the I didn't play music for a long time. I got back into it, and lo and behold, it came out again. You know what I mean? And it's just the cycle repeated,
Wow.
Yeah. So that was actually 17 years ago. Well, I'm clean now as of
but this is amazing. Okay, we're having this conversation. You tried to get clean and sober once. It reared its ugly head again.
Oh, well, hold on a sec. It went even worse. Like I tried to get clean for 10 years. It took me, I was in and out of the program of Narcotics Anonymous, and and Alcoholics Anonymous. I did that for 10 years. I was in and out, and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't, because I just thought I didn't think I had a problem. I just felt I had a little bit of bad luck. Maybe I shouldn't have hung out with those Asian gangsters. Maybe that would change things a little bit.
Right, it would have been a different
just the wrong place, wrong time. That's all, right?
It wasn't you, it was them.
Yeah, it's always someone else's fault, And,
but okay, so I have to ask you this, because I have a friend that I don't know how much longer she's going to be with us, and we're going on 25 years. I can't even deal with her, being around her. I have to keep her at arm's length. She's on public assistant. This is somebody that was brilliant, right? And I share this story with you because she's been through so many programs and she can't get clean. She can't. And my question for you is, like, what was it in you that finally allowed you to get clean?
Well, I mean, I had so many horrific bottoms, and I do mean horrific. I mean, like overdoses, brought back to life, like I died on a table. I don't know. And I still would go and use after that. Like there's no logic to it at all, And the last bottom that I had, ironically, it wasn't as bad as all the other ones before, but that was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. That's the last one,
I can't do it.
And the irony, the only thing that changed in me is the programs of recovery never changed. It's just all of a sudden I became teachable, meaning I was ready to listen now. I didn't have any great ideas. I was still full of ideas. Yeah, this is BS. This doesn't work. This is a cult. I know better, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'll figure this out. I'm a smart guy. You can't outsmart addiction. It doesn't care if you're the smartest person in the world or dumb as a stump. It doesn't care. It don't care. And
what changed in your brain that finally made you receptive to treatment?
It was just that moment where I actually said one word, and I just said help, and I freaking meant it this time. I felt it from the bottom of my very being. Like, I'll do anything. I give up. I can't do this, and that's when my life changed. Lo and behold, isn't that funny?
How ironic, as we say.
Yeah, just when you surrender, right? You just, surrender, and all of a sudden everything
changes. How many times have you died?
Well, I've had 3 heart attacks. 2 were drug induced, and one was just me not willing to let go of cigarettes. That's another story. But obviously I'm still here for a reason. I don't know what that is, but we keep going. The motor's still running, so to speak.
Oh, the motor's running, and I think you already know the reason you're here, right? You're telling me.
Well, it's to meet you, Wendy. Obviously, it was to meet you.
It's to meet me, but
yeah. Now I can die.
Your story is going to help a lot of people. My story, which is a totally different one, I have helped so many people. I got an activist award a couple of weeks ago. Okay. I don't try for it. I'm just able to do it. You understand? And when you tell your story, you're going to help people. Every time you get involved as a mentor, you're helping someone. You are an incredible shining example. And I think what I'm most impressed with, you landed on your feet and you're still able to make your music. You're not completely messed up and burnt out. If you remember, like Ozzy Osbourne, like the last years of his life, he was a mess, a fry brain. I'm sure you know people like that. We all do. You're extremely present, and isn't that amazing? And you're there to make music.
Well, when I decided, I don't know about you, but for me, I remember distinctly, I was 4 years old. We had this crappy TV with only one channel with the tinfoil on the antennas there.
Mine had 3. We had a black and white TV, and it
was black and white.
But the tinfoil and the rabbit ears.
Yeah, it was such a piece of crap. And I remember, I don't even know what it was because I'm a kid. I'm only 4 years old, and it was the Kinks, and they were playing some festival. It was late '60s, somewhere in Europe, and there had to have been 150,000 people there. It was just a sea of people. And I pointed at the screen, I pointed back at my old man, and I pointed at it, and I go, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I didn't realize I cursed myself right at that moment. But, and I have been doing music ever since, But
how cool. You were inspired by the Kinks. It was probably that song, You Really Got Me. And I've got it in a 45. because that was the song that made them famous. And then, of course, they went on to do Lola, and
Yeah.
I totally love. That is so great that you were inspired by the Kinks.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just a rerun of obviously some concert there, but when I was a kid, it was just like, I just wanted to rock and roll. I didn't know anything about sex or drugs. I'm 4 years old for that.
It's
You know
pure.
what I mean?
It's just pure.
So, when I first got clean, I was so scared to go back to music. I didn't play music for the first year and a half of me being clean. I didn't like my guitars. I felt like they laughed at me. Well, I didn't have anything left at that time. But
what
anyway,
scared you? What made you apprehensive about?
Well, because if you know anything about the music, I mean, like, you get loaded at rehearsal, you get loaded after rehearsal, you get loaded on the way to rehearsal, you get loaded on the way after rehearsal, you get loaded on the tour bus, you get loaded off the bus, you get loaded on tour, you get loaded off in the club. It never stops, really, right? And so I equated all that with that, and I'm like, even though if it's like you said, you were interviewing some artists, it's like you take art away from an artist, it's like a piece of you dies. You can't explain to someone. It's like you might as well put a bullet in your head. You're done. Yeah. And that's what it felt like to me. I'm not playing music anymore, and I'm like, what am I doing on earth? Like, because you can't shut it off. It's like I always say to people, like, I don't choose to do music. It chose me. Yeah. I can't stop. I can't shut it off. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh my God, it's it. Like I hear some freaking melody or something. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Right. So, yeah. So, and then the other thing is I thought I lost my creative edge because I had to be, 3 sheets to the wind to create, or so I thought, you know what I mean?
Right.
And well, that's not the case. That's the biggest lie I think.
Right. But I'm going to, on you saying that, I'm going to talk about that because with what I do, performing on stage and stuff, a lot of people that just, actors and stuff, they like to have a couple of drinks, quote unquote, it loosens them up. And some people, it goes into 4, 5, and 6 drinks. And I notice with me, 2 glasses of wine right to my head, and I'm fearless. I'm fearless at a cocktail party or whatever. I stopped doing it because I don't, and again, I'm not addictive, but I don't like that I was so sure of myself in that state. I need to be sure of myself in this state, right? Because as people, we are growing as creative human beings all the time. It shouldn't be the drugs or the alcohol speaking. It should be us. Look at you. Look at the creative gifts you have. They're gifts.
Yeah, but you talked on something like performing is a whole different experience, right? And I do miss that quote unquote loosening up before I hit the stage, but like, I remember when I tried to clean up and I was just drinking. That's my idea of cleaning up. And it's just like, well, I'll have 2 shots of bourbon with 1 ice cube. You know what I mean? And that was like my drink. Well, that turned into, 4 shots and 2 ice cubes, and then 6 shots, forget the ice cube, and then now we're up to a 26 or before. You know what I mean?
Done a whole bottle of bourbon.
Yeah. It's like, it's gonna be a great show, in my mind, like, and it probably was slaughtering it up there, not slaying, but slaughtering, because I'm so wasted, But anyway, where I'm going with the whole thing is like, like you, I'm sure I've played so many shows I can't even count, but to this day, I'd be lying if I said I don't freak out every time right before I get on stage. I have this little freak out moment, and then once you're up there, you're in it. You can't turn around. You know what I mean? And then it becomes almost like a spiritual experience. I feel like it's like I can't even put it into words unless you've done it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just the connecting of the energy off everyone else and vibing.
It's the energy, and
it's amazing.
I'm going to take this back to the real live music show, because what you're doing with that, right? Because so much has become video, TikTok, recording, tracks, all of it. The live thing is the live thing. No one can take that away. And it's what you feel when you're up there, that connection with the audience. I'm sorry, but there is nothing like it. And the adrenaline rush, maybe somebody that's in the Olympics, right? And they're in track or they're skiing, and it's the moment that they take off, right? That's how it feels. And you're flying on that energy the whole time you're up there on that stage. It's wonderful.
It's the best drug on the planet.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing that comes even close to it. And trust me, I've tried a lot of different drugs.
I'm sure
nothing comes to it. Nothing comes close to that. And that's why, I'll probably be doing it until my death, you know, and you know, I think about Les Paul, you know, he played his last show and then died like a few hours afterwards, you know, like how I think that's the best way a musician can go.
Isn't that a great way to go, you know?
Yeah. Genius.
Well, I want to play your videos so people can hear what we're talking about. Okay, Cameron, take it away. I see him down.
Busted sign, head down on the bar of gold, and shaking when the sun comes up, chasing our head instead of hope. She's got a horse like the stories do. She's tired of talking to God. You say tomorrow you'll clean it up, but tomorrow I got $1 and a brand left, gold paper thing. And I can save ya, I promise, babe. It's a slow motion fall, slow motion fall. I'm watching it happen, Lord, I said it all. You're slipping away, you're slipping away. I can pull you back today. Slip it away, slip it away. Slow motion fall. Your face is then I think you're dizzy. I just won't lie no more. You plead your service, but know your name. Look, you've been here before. I want you to try your something for a head. Didn't even play no stone. I turn away 'cause if I stay, I lose my mind or grow. This is slow motion fall. Slow motion fall. I'm watching it happen, Lord, I said it all. You're slipping away, you're slipping away. And I can pull you back today. Slip it away, slip it away. You weren't born for the sun won't rain. You were raised to faith this way. Only cares what you feel today. Slow motion fall. 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 I'm trying to hold on. Slow motion fall. I'm trying to hold on. Slow motion fall. It's a slow motion fall. I'm watching it happen, Lord, I said it all. You're slipping away, you're slipping away. I can pull you back today. Slip it away, little one still calling your name. Stand right there. Standing right there.
Very metaphoric, very autobiographical, and poetic. Poetic. You could take the music away and just do those words as spoken word, because each sentence conjures up a picture. What was your state of mind, and where were you in your life when you wrote that song?
I didn't write that song that long ago. It was a pretty dark spot. It's without getting in too much of my personal life here, but it's like there's that song's about like anyone who has a loved one, be it a brother, a sister, a mother, a daughter, a friend, a lover that's lost an addiction and on the street, and if anyone has gone through that, you've done everything in your human power to try to rescue them, to save them, but the drugs got a hold of them so strong. And you're hanging on an edge, just waiting for that phone call that they've passed or what, and no matter, it doesn't matter where you come from. And so short story long is there is something like that going on in my personal life. And it was kind of like a bit of a yelling on paper, if that makes any sense, if you know what I mean. It's so the emotions that I go through, and I hope it could help someone else that's going through that same thing, because it's it's the common thread you always hear is like, look at this trash, they need to clean this up or whatever, and but that's someone's kid, that's someone's brother, it's someone.
Thank you for saying that. That person living in the cardboard box was loved by somebody once or not. However, that is a human being.
Yeah. And I mean, even with my story, I mean, there was a point that I was homeless too, so I resonate with that.
You lived on the street?
I lived in a cardboard condo, with a running waterfront property, I used to call it, because it was close to the curb. Yeah.
A view of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's where addiction takes you, and it's like, it's not do something about it. It's like, well, it's not that easy, it's so addictive. You need it more than you need air.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I feel our society, these conversations that you and I are having, I don't think there's enough of them out there. I've had friends, and you're in the LA area though, AA out in LA, those groups out there, people go there to make like contacts for film and television and music.
It's so brutal. It's so
brutal. But I've gone as support to friends of mine, right? And I hear the stories there, but I personally, whether you agree with me or not, Ray, I think addiction in the big picture, AA doesn't work for everybody. It can't work for all addictions, because addiction is a highly personalized thing. And I really wish we were further along in dealing with addiction. Like, what if when you had these demons in you, or I hate using that word, but there was something that made you go back, a chemical, whatever, had to have it. What if there were an actual, like a birth control pill or something they could put under your skin that just took that away, just took it away?
Well, they do have things like that. They have things like Suboxone and you know what I mean, like that will kill the so-called craving, but
didn't work for my girlfriend. She's right back to,
there's something different. It's like, well, first of all, you get sick if you're on Suboxone, right?
Yeah, that's what happened to her. Yeah.
But like, like there's a mental aspect to it too, because the reality is most of the people that are on the street have severe mental health issues, and they've just
Agreed.
fallen through the cracks, and the whole system is so broken. I'm a pretty big advocate for recovery. Like I don't want to blow anonymity. I can't really speak about it too much, but I go talk on panels, and I do lots of speaking engagements
I was going to ask.
recovery circles. And because if I can help one person, then I've done my job. But the reality is the whole system is so broken. Someone's on the street and they say they want help. You got to help them like now, because that window is so freaking
Yeah,
small.
it's a small, right.
And it doesn't work like that. Well, keep calling back and we'll get you into detox, because you can't get into the problem is there's tons of recovery houses, and it's a big scam. A lot of the recovery houses, they're just in it for the money, and they're not equipped to help people with the mental health aspect. And if the mental health isn't addressed, then they'll go use again.
Right.
That's a big component of it. And the thing is, you can't treat the mental health until you get them clean. You can't get them clean unless they get mental. Like it's a mess. I agree.
It's a total mess. But I have to say to you, thank you. I love having people on this show that are doing what you're doing. That's my sweet spot. Thank you. Because you put yourself out there, you've been there. And because of you, a life will be saved. And you know what, Ray? Sometimes it's only one life. It's only one life, but you're the one that helped do it. And that's amazing.
Well, that's why most of my music is recovery related, because if it can help one person, I've succeeded. That's all I give a crap about, really. And I'm also a recognized supporter of Music Cares, and because what they do is amazing, and the work
they financially help musicians.
Yeah, that need addiction problem, that no questions asked, they'll pay for your treatment, and because that's something very close to me and I can relate to. I mean, that's I'm very grateful to be aligned with them.
Well, thank you for the work that you do with them. Now, with your own music, let's talk about the last 16 years, right? You've been clean and sober. You've worked behind the scenes. You work on the stage. What do you prefer? Is it all good? Where were you and where are you going?
Where I'm going, I don't know. And that's the beauty of life. I love that. I always say the universe laughs at us when we're making plans. I just go along for the ride. But obviously, playing live is I love it. That like we were talking about, you can't shut that off. Right? It's the best drug, and if that's a drug, then I'm addicted for life. But
I like that.
Yeah, but as far as the other things, I mean, I still like doing projects because I'm still related into music. I mean, I have other projects on that too. I mean, I'm an executive producer on another show that we're in talks with different streaming services right now.
Right, which you probably can't share here, but I love here. I love
without NDAs, you can't say nothing. It's like you just gotta trust me. It's cool.
I used to confuse NFTs with NDAs. Okay, I will share that with you. But you have your fingers in a number of pies, and they're all in an arena that you love being in. And how lucky are you? What a gift, right? To be able to do that.
I don't know if it's a gift. I think it's a curse. It's like I'm such a disappointment.
You're doing what you love. You're not like you're not at some job that you hate or spending. I meet more people. I'm a member of the Explorers Club, which is people that do exploration all over the world. And people say to me, they hate their job. They want to quit their job. They want to become an explorer. Obviously, you need jobs and things so that you can do that, right? But it's a wonderful thing to be able to do your thing, to not have to go in somewhere to a job that you hate. And you meet people all the time, I'm sure, as I do. They hate what they're doing. And we're only given this life. Well, no, I'm going to contradict myself on that. I'm talking about this life that we have here. I do believe that there's another life after, and we're going to get into that. But in this life that we have here, isn't it great to be able to do something that you love?
Well, there was a short time in my life. Well, not a short time. I did for a while where, I tried to live the quote unquote normal life. You know, I had short hair and a suit and tie and going into an office, and on the outside, I acquired a life that everyone was happy with. You know,
Except you.
Except me. I just wanted to blow my brains out every day. The first words out of my mouth was the F word, you know, and that's how I started my day every day. And I'm like, this is, yeah, yeah, right. I'm like, this isn't a life. And so then, you know, I stuck in the business, and you know, it's I'm sure you know this too. You know, anybody in our world knows this. Like when you're doing shitty, everyone's like, when are you gonna get your life together? Right. And then when you do good, who the fuck did that guy think he is? You know?
No, I know.
You know, you can't win. So, you know, like it just follow your heart. That's the best advice I got for anybody. You know what I mean? And if you're miserable or you're looking, oh, you're so lucky, well, then why aren't you doing it? You could do it too. You know, like nobody's stopping you.
Right.
You know,
but
if I can overcome addiction, I can overcome anything. That's the way I look at it.
In your case, absolutely true. You came over one of the hugest things, which, you know, in your heart of hearts now, you can do anything. If you can think it, you can do it, you can create it. But I'm going to tell you something else about you. And we had a little chat before the show. We talked about people's intuitive abilities, right? And, you know, when I was looking through your materials online, and I looked at interviews and stuff like that, what especially, of course, always interests me is people use the word psychic. I've had people on the show that are psychic, that have written books as psychics or whatever. And then I have the other people that do a whole other thing, but they are such incredible psychics, you know. When did you realize you had this ability?
There was a lot of messed up things that happened when I was a kid, you know, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I couldn't be around like big crowds and stuff because I could hear everybody's thoughts and stuff. It would be overwhelming for me.
It was overwhelming.
Yeah. And I didn't know how to shut it off. And I used to see things a lot when I was a kid, you know, like dead people, you know what I mean?
And they were like, Ray has an imagination.
Yeah. Well, no. They're like, I can go on. Oh, I'll give you one example. Okay. So
no, you
like,
can go on, please.
Yeah. So I it was the middle of summer. It was hot as hell. One of the hottest days I can remember. And we had these two front doors with a deadbolt in between, right? And all of a sudden, not a wind, nothing. It's hot as hell. And the doors, they blasted right open. And I'm standing in the hallway. I'm maybe 5 or 6. No, yeah, somewhere like that. And I felt like the wind come up to me. And I felt like a hand on my shoulder, like almost like a hug. And then I felt it walk past me down the hall. And the phone rang, and my mom answered the phone, and it was my grandfather that just passed, and she told him that he just passed away, and I know it was him. You know, I got millions of stories like that.
But
like,
it came through the phone, and when you and I were talking before the show, I told you my mother could do that. She would pick it up, there would be no one there, and she would turn and say, so-and-so just died. That's very overwhelming for a child. I had visitations, and I would wake up crying in the middle of the night, and people in my family, you know, my mother knew because I come from that, but she didn't want me to have that, right? What parent wants their kid to like be able to see spirits or know what other people are thinking? The thing that you're talking about, crowds were overwhelming for you because you could hear people's thoughts. You know, my daughter had to go to an occupational therapist because she had an auditory processing problem. It took me to realize that it wasn't an auditory processing problem at all. I said to the therapist, could she be hypersensitive? So in layman's terms, Ray, they call it hypersensitivity. That's something everyone can understand. But there are actually little children, it starts when they're young, that can hear those thoughts. And most of the time, they get it out of you when you're in school, people poo-poo it or whatever, and you start to lose it, and it goes away, right? In my house, it was completely supported. So I grew up with this my entire life. So as I said to you, it's great most of the time, but then there's those times when you meet someone and they're looking at you in the eye and you know they completely hate you. And it's not because you're being paranoid. It's because they kind of know you know things, and that makes them uncomfortable. And that's a hard thing to deal with.
Well, yeah, very much so. I mean, it's different for everyone, but I find just for me, the best psychics that I have met, like the best, have been through something absolutely horrifically tragic. Yeah. It's like there's something wakes up when that happens. And I don't know if it was from my addiction and the things I had seen or I had experienced. I mean, I've had some traumatic things that I don't want to go down that
I'm
hole.
sure.
But you know, like, and then it's like it was always there, but it's just like all of a sudden it got cranked to 11. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, now it's on, you know. And you know, without going down the rabbit hole too much, you know, like if you watch like Stanley Kubrick's, you know, Clockwork Orange,
Clockwork Orange,
you know, right? And they were just showing him all that traumatic stuff and keeping his eyes open and stuff like that. Well, that was an actual, you know, that was an actual government program because they did testing on this, and like when they create enough tragedy, another part of your brain wakes up, and that's that psychic ability.
Yeah.
But
and
you got like
we play it down. We largely, you know, in the world, we largely play that down. How does that psychic ability work into your music?
Well, so this is a theory. Okay, do with it what you want. But every artistic person, be it a sculptor, a painter, a musician, doesn't matter. I feel we all have an invisible antenna on our head.
We have that aluminum. Hold on, the aluminum.
Yeah.
I have a best friend who's no longer with us, and he and I totally believe that. Even though you couldn't see it, we all had those aluminum rabbit ears.
Same thing, yeah. So I truly feel like the universe, what it does is it goes, okay, here it is. This is the gift, right? And it only stops with people in the antenna. And if you're not ready to capture it at that exact moment, it'll go over to you, to the next person with the antenna, and give that gift to that person.
Wow.
That's how I feel it works. And a funny story, this is an old story, but you remember who John Tesh was?
No, tell me who John Tesh. Tell me.
He was the host of what was that? Entertainment Tonight.
Of course I know. Of course I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he's stuck in LA traffic, and if you know anything about LA traffic, it's 6 lanes of gridlock, right?
Horrible.
And this was before the age of proper cell phones or anything like that. You know, he had the big brick phone in his car, right? And he's stuck in gridlock. And all of a sudden that idea comes to him, and he gets out of his car, because the car is a parking lot. He gets out of his car and he starts waving his fist at the sky and goes, "Not now. What the F am I supposed to do with this now, you effing asshole?" Like this, right? So he gets back in his car and he grabs the phone and he goes, "Wait a minute." Remember, this is back in the day of answering machines, right? And he grabs his phone, he calls his own house and sings the tune into his answering machine. So short story long is that tune that he sang is the theme of the NBA and has been the theme of the NBA for the past 20 some years. Yeah, right.
No, but this is like incredible use of having that ability. That's right. Absolutely incredible.
Because he knew and it's like he knows what we're talking about. Like if you don't capture it at that moment, it's gone. So I actually sleep. Like I know it's really annoying for anyone that ever dates me, but I got a guitar like right, if not in the bed with me, beside the bed, because if it hits, I got to capture it. Because if I don't capture it, it's gone. I'll forget it by the morning. It's not going to be there.
For me, it's the same. I write parodies. Funny parodies. The minute those words hit, I've got 2 phones with me at any given time too. It goes right into the notepad you know what? I can write things like that.
Yeah.
Not taking hours, because I do it. It's the same thing you're doing with the guitar. I don't know how well it works out for girlfriends of yours, but you know.
Not good.
It's like, that's tough competition.
This guy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but you know, like I know, like the other thing too that I can get caught up in, and you probably too, is where you're capturing all this stuff, but then it gets buried in a sea of unfinished captures, if you will. You know, and I know with me, if I sit down and I go, I'm a pretty gosh darn good songwriter. I'm going to write a song today. It's pure shit every time. It's like when it hits me at 3:00 in the morning, like you said, and it's like that's where that.
How about that? Half the song will roll out then. But what I've learned to do, that the half a thing will roll out and then nothing for weeks. But I have notebooks all over too. I just recently had to do this on something I was writing. I went back to it and I was able to finish it, boom, 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 like that. I think what I would like to be able to do is be able to write the whole entire song or parody in one thing, you know, when it hits you, and then you can do it beginning, middle, and end. I don't like what I call unfinished symphonies, but maybe that's where unfinished symphonies come from, right?
True, but you know that then there's the other school of thought, like Diane Warren. You know who Diane Warren is?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, she said famously, like, I don't care how shitty the song is, finish the fucking song. So it's like, and she said, for every 100 pieces of shit, you get 1 piece of gold.
Yeah.
But you got to finish it. You can't have it in a piece. Finish it. Even if you know it's sewage, finish the damn song.
I love it. If you know it's sewage. Never heard anybody, right? Usually it's garbage.
Well, maybe that's my take on it. That's not quote unquote her words, but
it's sewage. This piece that you wrote is absolute sewage.
Schlock. Yeah.
So where can people find you? Do you have any tours?
Back of a milk carton. You can always find me.
Right.
Yeah.
Lost child.
Homeless shelters. Yeah. You can find me over at rayraystar.com, or if you're too lazy to put in the .com, you can just Google Ray Ray Star. I come up everywhere, I'm pretty sure.
You do come up everywhere. So now you're going to bring me to the question that's been burning inside of me the whole time.
My favorite color is blue. I like long walks on the beach.
Okay, I can't tell your hair color because you've had a cap on the entire time. Sunglasses on. I have no idea what you even look like. How about that?
That makes both of us. Holy Christ. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Who are you really? Maybe you're just an imposter. Okay, maybe Ray Ray Star is actually tied up in the back there, and you're the imposter. Where did the name Ray Ray
Hey, 20
start?
bucks is 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Right? It's a living. Where did the name Ray Ray Star come from?
My mom stutters. You leave her alone.
I don't believe that for 1 minute. I'm going to nail you to the truth. Where is your name? Like, yeah, go ahead.
So what happened is I was in this band, and actually my bass player, we were young, we were kids, and he nicknamed me that, and it stuck. And everyone just kept calling me Ray Ray after that. And I got tired of trying to correct people, and I'm like, oh, fine. And I just fell into it, and I'm like, and then it stuck, and then here we are.
So it's a great name. I don't know if Star is your original last name or what, but one thing that I think is really important for musicians, because we are in a commercial world. Okay. We are in a world that is branded. No one will ever forget your name. I have so many people that I've done over 600 shows. I've got 2 podcasts. I've done over 600 shows. And there are, people, I'm like, people will say, is so-and-so, like John Smith, was he on your show? I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember. But the thing about a name like Ray Ray Star is it's good. It's very theatrical. It's a name that will stick with people, and it connotates somebody totally cool. And I would expect you to show up with really long hair and sunglasses and a cap. So there you go.
So it's not the name of an accountant, because there goes all my dreams down the trail.
No, it's not the name of it, right? An accountant. Although you did say you wore a suit and tie at one point in your life, but you never shared with us what your job was when you did that.
I was the doorman at a brothel. No, I actually I work for a credit card processing company.
You work for a credit card company.
Yeah.
That's real. Okay, that's a doorman. You would have gotten a pass with, but that's a corporate job. You actually.
Yeah, it was full corporate. I was.
Wow.
I was. I went right into corporate America. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, and
interesting. People are probably telling you should do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. But I've had a lot of jobs, like most people. I roadied for years. I did that for years. And
I figured with your background, that you were a roadie.
Yeah. And I worked in film for years and years and years too. I've always been around the arts.
Right, because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I've been on camera and I've been behind camera too. I gripped and I worked in set deck and all that good stuff, So.
And I know you said going forward, you're not really sure, but you must have just a general idea of, your 5-year plan, kind of, sort of?
Well, if I make it to 5 years, that'll be the miracle.
I knew that was coming. Come on. You're going to make it to 5 years. You have a lot to give out there. So, like, what do you see? You're psychic. What do you see?
Well, actually, I see like a lot of these projects come to fruition. Like I got another one that I'm working on right now it's going to be epic. And I think out of all the things I'm doing right now, I think it's one of the biggest good ideas, I guess is the way to put it. It's been in development for three or 4 years now. So we're just starting to put it into play. So it's going to be very,
because
very
of
cool.
the non-disclosure agreement.
I can't talk about nothing. It sounds like I'm talking in tongue. That's what I hate about this business.
No,
you got to just trust me. It's really cool. That's all I can tell you.
Your whole future is an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. No, but when you get in these obnoxious conversations with people, and I have it all the time. They're like, so what's next with you or whatever? And it's things that you can't always talk about. And you know what? It really does get annoying sometimes because, they're just asking it the same way people are like, hey, how are you? So it becomes annoying, and hitting them with the NDA thing is really great because they don't know what to say to it.
No, but I don't know what to say to it either. It's like a stop for me too. Oh man, I just want to talk, right? But like get to be the international person of mystery, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That person. So we have a couple of comments. I always like I've got hello. Oh yeah, thank you. Suze, our amazing designer friend, is here. She says hello. Suze is up in Boston. Thank you for tuning in. Harvey Beans. Harvey's a dog. Oh, we didn't talk about dogs at all. Do you have a dog there?
I can't even take care of myself. Are you freaking kidding
I
me?
I
think we'd be dead in a week.
Your plants are dead. Your plants are dead. Okay, yeah. Adam Lynn is on. I know, Adam, you have a fabulous dog too. Always great to see Adam on here. Adam wrote music, great. And Harvey Beans, the Chihuahua, who's really Suze, said, so sad how help is not easy to get for people. We see this all the time, and it is sad. But one of the reasons we do this show, we have people like Ray Starr on that are, getting out there and they're doing stuff, right? You're doing stuff. Now, one of the things I like to do when my co-host Tim Moss is here, he knows how to take the picture of all of us using the computer. I am technically disabled. I can't do that, but I came up with my own hokey method because you'll understand this, Ray. If you can't do it in the conventional way, you have to find another way, right?
You found my OnlyFans? Is that what happened here?
Right, I did. I wasn't going to say anything.
$20 is $20.
I know, really, right? I found the guy who's pretending to be you too, but that's a whole other thing. Don't take it sitting down. I want to get a picture. So cheese, take a bunch. Great. Well, I've had such a really good time with you. You look like a good time in your pictures, and you're a good time on a podcast.
You found my bathroom stall ad then. Huh?
I did. Okay, you had to bring up the bathroom thing. I did want to talk to you real quick. Yeah. Can you share with our audience about your toilet tour and what that was? You brought up the bathroom, not me.
Yeah, so actually, without a doubt, of all the things I've done in my career, that was my favorite thing, and it was our first tour ever. We had no idea what we were doing. We booked it all ourselves. We're going to go big rock stars. And so my buddy, his dad had this old 70s truck with, like a camper that sat on the back.
I love
it.
I know
like not towed behind, like the one that sat in the box, right? That's our tour bus, right? He borrowed it and he goes, so you're our tour manager. That's how that came about. And then another buddy of ours, unfortunately he passed away now, but like he hung around and came to all our shows and stuff like that. So he goes, I guess you're our manager. Cause what happened is my singer at the time, he couldn't get into the States for obvious reasons. So he put him in the trunk and drove him across the border. And so
that's just genius.
Yeah. So we made him, I go, well, you're our tour manager. You know how to solve problems.
So right? Funny.
Yeah. And so anyway, I remember we're the bathroom didn't work in this thing, right? So, you know, and we couldn't stop because we got to get to the shows, right? So we'd kick the door open on the highway, you know, and one guy's hanging onto one guy's back and the other guy's whizzing out the window, out there waving at cars as we're driving by.
Right?
Yeah. We had no money. I don't think I tasted food that entire tour. And I remember we get to LA and we discover Del Taco, home of the 39-cent burrito. And 29-cent burrito.
29-cent burrito, but they have bathrooms there.
Well, so the 29-cent, that's a funny story. So the 29-cent burrito, but for 10 cents more, you could get it with cheese, right? And there was two brothers in the band. And we are all eating our bean burritos. And then, you know, my bass player, who was one of the brothers, shows up with cheese, right? And the other brother's like, "You're stealing from the band fund." Next thing you know, they're beating the shit out of each other over a 39-cent burrito.
Fund.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And every show we played was it was more disastrous than the worst. We're playing, you know, to the bartender and the waitress, basically. So by the time we got to
walked in there, how old were you?
Oh shit, we were kids, man. I think we were like
17, 18.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But you know what? Isn't that totally fabulous? It's only bad. It's only bad when you're like 50 and it's still like that.
Yeah, right. So then we get to LA. We're totally disheartened. And we ended up playing this show, and lo and behold, it was a shithole of a bar. It was called Raji's. And it's kind of famous. Guns N' Roses got their start in there and stuff. It's it's just a real toilet. There's heroin needles everywhere. It's just a dirt bog place. But short story long is Bad Religion's manager happened to come in for a beer after work, and he saw us play. And well, next thing we ended up recording at West Beach Studios, and it was short story long. We blew up from that. We got
okay. Moral of the story, right? Look where you were. Look where you had been. Look where the break came. You know, that's moral of the story, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the rules have changed in the game so much, but you know, when someone comes to me for advice, I just tell them, you know what, play every show that's like your last show, because you know, it could just that one person could change your life. You know,
right. One thing can happen to change your life. Ray Star, you have been so much fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to be following you. I look forward to when you come to New York to perform. You have to hit me up. I love seeing people from virtual reality in my own reality at a bar in New York. And we've got lots of great places to play here, as you know. So, yeah, it's
very cool.
Fabulous. All right. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in today. Stay cool. Actually, I'm telling you, stay cool. It's 105 here with the heat index. You heard me say that. And I got the damn smoke from Canada. God damn it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of week. Bye-bye. Bye.